Okay, so my next video on GameStop. It's now Thursday, the 4th of February in 2021, and the share price has collapsed from, it actually got into the 500s, so over 500 US dollars down to, it's currently about $92 US, and trading a lot less than that. It's getting down to $74 and things. So we've had a collapse. So is it all over? What should I do, or what should you do? How are you going to recover from this, and how can you avoid this or falling for this again? Okay, so what's happened, and how can you avoid falling for it again? Okay, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Okay, and especially, is it all over? So some good questions, and what I want to talk about is based on what sensible people think, and one of those people is Bruce in stock share markets with Bruce. Okay, so I like his advice, and I'm going to repeat. My feelings are very similar to his, so and I'll just do this in a condensed form. Okay, so what's happened? The price collapse. So what the hell happened? Is it all over? What should I do? And how am I going to recover from this? And how can I avoid falling for this again? Okay, so what the hell happened? That's a good question. My general advice is always be very careful, especially if people are trying to convince you to buy something. If something's too good to be true, then it probably is. And a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. Okay, this is just general talking. Okay, I'm just talking to people off the record. Okay, so the latest chart for GME. So the share price has been very flat for years and years and years. Years and years and years, very flat. And then there was a bit of a bubble. Okay, and then in January, a bit of it bubbled up, and then it went massively sky high, vertical climb up to 350 and more. It went way over 350. Okay, and went up to into the 500s. Crashed back down. There's a second bounce, a dead cat bounce, and then down again. Down she comes, and we're currently around here. Okay, so massive increase. People got frightened, or the people sold out. The people who were spruiking it and pumping it up down here sold, and it came crashing down. And then there was a dead cat bounce. People thought, oh, that's not a bad price. I can get back in. And then, bam, down she comes. So it's a classic stock market pattern when people FOMO into a market or just invest without knowing what's going on. And so what happened? Well, the stocks were massively shorted. That's true. Over 120% of the available stocks were shorted. And there was a feeding frenzy of investors, in other words, gamblers, FOMOing in, blinded by greed, just going into the market. They didn't know what they were doing. They'd done no research or no proper research. They'd maybe listened to some bunch of people on Reddit, and they're just throwing their money at the market. People just blindly threw their money at anything with GME in the title, including a mining company in Australia, which has nothing to do with GameStop at all. Okay, so people were that blinded by greed, they even invested in a mining company in Australia. How insane. People maxed out their credit cards, spent all their student loans and so on buying shares and in GME, and most of those are purchased at $100 or more, $200 or more, $300 or more, $400 or more. Okay, so a lot of people just kept spending their money on GameStop, hoping to get rich quick, hoping they were going to have their big payday. They're once in a lifetime. YOLO, you only live once, they thought. And they threw their money in, and it hasn't ended well so far. It was all a get-rich-quick scheme. I call it a scam. And people were blinded by insane greed. Absolutely insane. The market wasn't rational at all. There was a lot of conspiracy theories on Wall Street bets and other websites to confuse people and make them stay in the market longer, while the people behind those schemes and scams cashed in and got out of the market. Okay, so the people raising the conspiracy theories, they were talking people into throwing their money in the market. Meanwhile, they were cashing out. So they were scammers. Yep, absolute scammers. Anyone who admitted they sold on Wall Street bets was massively downvoted and banned. I saw people banned for admitting they cashed out. Okay, and so people who were telling the truth were banned. People who were saying to people you should get out now were banned. And of course, that's just an echo chamber. Then it turned Wall Street bets into a crazy echo chamber. Hedge funds and other short sellers, meanwhile, they were too big and too wealthy, and they weathered the storm. The storm and the price went to $400 plus. Okay, so the short sellers that were caught short, they weathered the storm, they survived, and they managed to improve their positions dramatically. And hedge funds and short sellers and scammers on Reddit and other people made a lot of dollars. Okay, the people who are still holding the bag holders, they've missed out. Well, they looks like they've missed out. The price dropped massively and it continues to drop. And I don't think it's going to go back to where it was. So there's a mining company in Australia. Their price shot up from 8 cents to 11 cents or more, and so on. So the managing director of the company was woken up, and he said all hell broke loose. And it's very hard to comment. It's like a bomb's gone off. So all of a sudden, people are suddenly buying his shares in his mining company, and he doesn't know what's going on. It's all a surprise to him. Yeah. So people didn't know what they were buying. They're just buying anything with GME in the title. Crazy stuff. Absolutely insane. Get rich quick, FOMOing into the market, blinded by greed. There's a ton of these sort of posts on Reddit today. I got this one off Reddit earlier today, about a few hours ago. And there's many, many others. What the hell is happening? There's been a moderator coup where moderators have been banned. Lots of spam posts, tons of misinformation, hundreds of conspiracy theories, all insane, all not backed by any evidence at all, just people making stuff up. And I'm so confused and honestly a bit disheartened. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories on Reddit to get people to stay in the market while the scammers are cashing out. Okay, they're making up all this stuff about Melbourne Capital, the SEC, Robin Hood. Some of it's partly true, some of it's more than slightly true. A lot of it's just absolute false and misinformation. And people are believing any old nonsense, unfortunately, and they're going to pay the price. Meanwhile, the people that got in early are cashing out, and the scammers that are whipping up the hysteria and the misinformation and the spam posts to confuse people, they're cashing out like crazy. Okay, so they're making a fortune as well. So sad to see, but so easily avoidable, as we'll talk about soon. So is it all over? That's what you've got to ask yourself. Is it all over? Have I done my dough? Okay, so it looks like the hedge funds and the short sellers were too powerful. A couple hundred people or a couple of thousand people buying shares on Reddit from Reddit weren't going to topple the hedge funds and the short sellers. They were just too big and too powerful. It was a David and Goliath. It was a David and Godzilla. Okay, they're never going to win. It's very doubtful the GME price will go back to 500, let alone the insane prices people were demanding on Wall Street bets. People were demanding 50,000 and higher. It's just insane. Okay, it's never going to go that high. And I said that in my earlier videos. GameStop's already recruited new executive staff from Amazon and other companies. So GameStop's recruiting people and high-level people from Amazon and other companies. So they're making changes. They're transitioning into an e-commerce and an online company. So from brick and mortar to online. They're doing that transition now. They've had hundreds of millions of dollars of free advertising because everybody now knows who GameStop is. Okay, so everybody around the world's heard. They've had hundreds of millions of dollars of free advertising. And they're not the same company that they were. They're closing stores, cutting costs, making changes. It's all going to take time. Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, so the changes they're making are going to take several months or more, but the changes are being made. So they're not the same company whose shares are selling for $4 6 months ago. They're not the same company. So it's looking very unlikely that the share price will drop back to down below $4 again, but who knows for sure. Okay. The floor for the share price now might be $100. It might be $50. I don't think it's going to drop back down to $4 again, but who knows? Okay. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, but it's certainly not going to 50,000 and these insane prices these scammers and idiots were saying on Wall Street bets. It's not going to go to those prices. Okay, it might. I don't even think it's going to go to $500 or more again. I think the run is over. But then I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Okay, So I'm not going to make any crazy claims. All I'm going to say is it's unlikely to go back down below $4 again anytime soon. But I don't know for sure. So what should I do? Okay. And I cannot advise if you should sell or hold. I don't know what your situation is. I'm not a financial advisor. So I can't tell you whether you should sell or hold. If you purchase GME stock by maxing out your credit cards or spending your student loans or similar insanity, and that was an insane thing to do, and you now need the money, if you're now desperate for the money, then maybe you've got to sell. I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know what your situation is. But if you've maxed out your credit cards or if you've spent your student loan or done similar stupid stuff, then maybe you need to sell. Okay. If you purchase GME and you don't need the money and you can afford to hang on for 12 months and see what happens, then maybe do that. Okay. So maybe hang on if you can afford to. How am I going to recover from this? So assuming you spent all your money on $300 plus shares that are now $90, how are you going to recover? Well, see the price slide. That's got what I suggest. One thing you've got to really make sure you do is that you never fall for this kind of scam or scheme again. Stay the hell away from get-rich-quick schemes and scams. And see the next slide. Okay. So what can I do to avoid falling for this sort of thing again? What can you do, or what can I do? Okay. One thing is always do your own research. Always do your own research. Don't believe what people on Reddit say. Don't believe what people on a YouTube video say. Don't believe what's people you know say. Do your own research. Get professional advice. Certainly if you're investing more than, say, $1,000 or whatever's a meaningful amount of money for you, get professional advice. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Don't believe crazy conspiracy theories or invest in crazy get-rich-quick schemes and scams. For example, look at most of the posts on Wall Street bets, and I would classify those as conspiracy theories or get-rich-quick schemes. Okay, so take everything you read on Wall Street bets with a massive grain of salt. Okay. Don't be blinded by greed. Don't FOMO in. Never FOMO in. Fear of missing out. It's a powerful force. Recognize what it is. Learn to control it. Don't FOMO in, because you'll lose everything. If people are pushing your buttons or trying to get you emotionally involved in something, let's stick it to the 1%. Let's get something back from those rich bastards. Let's take back what's ours. Let's treat them the way they've been treating us. If people are saying this sort of stuff to you, walk away. Walk away, my friend. They're trying to get you emotionally involved and they're pushing your buttons. If something looks too good to be true, oh, you must invest now. It's going to be gone by tonight. It's going to be gone by tomorrow. You got to do it now. Quick. Get in now. Quick. Walk away, my friend. Just walk away. Okay. Recognize the signs of people trying to scam you. And that's people are pushing your buttons, getting you emotionally involved, or trying to get you to rush into something. It's too good to be true. Walk away. Seriously. Walk away. Okay, and just in the interest of full disclosure, how much GME do I own? I've never owned any GME shares. I currently own 0.00 of GME shares, just to make it clear. I missed the boat. Okay. By the time I transferred money to my stock account and waited for the 3 days for it to clear, the GME share price is already over $100. So I'd missed the boat. Okay, and there's no way I was going to buy into something whose price had already increased by 30 times or more, based on wild speculation. Okay, by the time I did my research and looked at what was happening, and thought about things from all sides, there was no way I was going to put my money in. It looked like a get-rich-quick scheme to me, and I looked at the posts on Wall Street Bets, and I looked at the publicity that was getting, and I just thought, no way, I don't want to get involved in this. So I managed to avoid it, but it was close. I could have been involved. Okay, but thank goodness I managed to avoid it. And just a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I've said is financial advice. Okay, I'm just trying to help people because I've been reading so many posts on Wall Street Bets and things where people are at their wits' ends and they're crying and they're upset and they're thinking dark thoughts. I'm just trying to help those people see some sense, how you can move forward, what you can do, how you can avoid making these same mistakes again if you're in debt up to your eyeballs and there's no way out. Okay, so that's what this video is all about. I'm trying to help people, see that maybe that's not the end, that GME is not the same company anymore. Things are changing. The share price probably isn't going to go back to $4 again, but who knows? There's probably going to be a new floor of substantially greater than $4. But if you spent $500 on shares or $450 on shares, maybe it is time to cut your losses. Okay, but it all depends on your situation. Nothing I say is financial advice. Okay, if you are invested and in debt up to your eyeballs, I hope you can get out. Okay, and I hope you can avoid falling for the same mistakes again in the future. Okay, good luck to you. Thanks for watching. Hope this video was useful.